Test is sponsored by We Are Wrestling. You can find
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
What is up? We are wrestling maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host, the best one, Donnie here, back with special guest.
Danny Huckins, man. I was back last week. I'm back again this week. I might have to move into your studio, man. I've been here so much.
Yeah, Danny has been here. Originally we were supposed to have a special guest here, but things came up and Danny was here last minute and he said, hey, wrestling's been pretty entertaining lately, so I want to be on the talk show again.
Definitely, man.
So of course you already know, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and you already know, the grind is real. And today, there are lots of wrestling topics to talk about.
Definitely, man. I'll let you start off because we both have a lot to say.
Oh, absolutely. And the first thing I just want to say, if you guys have not checked out Danny and Ben's podcast, go check that out because they have really great takes on there. And I've actually been listening to it a lot on my way to work. And one thing I just want to say before we get into our quick takes here about your co-host there, Ben.
Yeah, man.
Ben, I am offering you a spot in Danny's chair next week on the We Are Wrestling Talk Show.
No way.
Because I heard your take on Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair is the best in the game that they have right now. Am I tired of Charlotte Flair? Absolutely.
I can't stand Charlotte
But I
Flair.
cannot deny how fucking talented she is. She is so much better than her father ever fucking was. And hands down, this fucking chick has it all, dude. Like, I am not...
Dude,
I
You're gonna
love
get-
Charlotte Flair. I love
you're
Charlotte
gonna
Flair.
you're gonna get us canceled, man.
Nah, dude, I don't
I
even
might
care.
need a new co-host. Anybody want to send in an application?
And I watched it on YouTube, and maybe I took it the wrong way, so I need you to come to Best One Studios, and I need to really just hear it from you. So Danny, or Ben, I am sending you an invite to Best One Studios next week to be on the talk show with me, and really figure out what is your thinking process on why Charlotte Flair is like the Michael Jordan of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I really agree with Danny when he says she's the Miley Cyrus of WWE.
Oh, definitely. No question.
Alright, so now let's get into quick takes. And of course last week we kind of went over the time a little bit because we are both really, we're pros when it comes to this stuff.
Wrestling aficionados, man. You
Oh,
have
yeah.
questions, we have all the answers.
You see, like on ESPN First Take and all these ESPN shows, they're all freaking football, basketball analysts. Me and Danny here, we're wrestling analysts, so. But you don't get that stuff on TV, you get that stuff on YouTube.
Exactly, man. Subscribe, hit the like.
That's right, subscribe, hit the like. So now, we are, instead of going to go 5 minutes, we're going to go 10 minutes because there's actually a lot of topics for this week's quick takes. So, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's go.
Alright, and the time should begin. Here we go, 10 minutes. Starting off with the Boogeyman signs a contract extension, Legends deal.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The Boogeyman, he used to creep me out back when he was in WWE around 2005. He was at one point in the Tough Enough competition, but he got kicked out because he lied about his age. Kind of sounds similar to Jeff Hardy's story because Jeff Hardy lied that.
Yeah,
that
when he was younger
18.
with the developmentals and stuff like that.
Yep. I think it's cool. I just, I wish they would utilize him because, I mean, the dude, if you watch some of his Instagram videos, the dude is shredded. The dude can still fucking
He's
go.
in shape, absolutely.
So I don't know why they would sign all these guys if they're not ever going to utilize him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so real quick, did you go to that SmackDown show in Springfield in 2005?
No, I didn't, but I recently watched it because I was like, oh my god, they were in Springfield. Randy Orton beat up The Undertaker.
Yeah, so speaking of that show, something that's really interesting about it, I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the We Are Wrestling channel, but I was actually where, you can get the high fives and stuff from, the wrestlers that come out. Velocity's on, so, got to watch that, enjoyed it. Next thing you know, the opening thing is Boogeyman versus, I think, Nunzio or, a jobber.
Yeah.
And then when the Boogeyman actually came out and he hit the clock on his head, friggin' the explosion happened, and then next thing you know, friggin' I had a big purple friggin' blue mark on my thigh because of that.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so Boogeyman signing his contract extension, well deserved. I think that he's very entertaining. I would love to see the character more on some of maybe their specials on Raw or SmackDown, because it's entertaining, the Boogeyman. And the worms are actually real. I found that out from Blitzkrieg and the Big Time Wrestling show when I met him in 2019.
That's nuts, man. I would never eat.
My brother actually ate the friggin' worm. Moving on to the next topic here. Nick Gage signs a historic deal with GCW. The owner, Brett, said in a recent interview, when he posted this, he said, "This is the first and likely the last contract GCW will ever offer. Nick has earned the right to finish his career on his terms with dignity and focus on a future he deserves. I'm proud GCW can give him that. For the hard work, sacrifice, and loyalty over 23 plus years. MDK all effing day."
Yeah, Nick Gage, I don't know much about his career. I do know he's like the king of the deathmatch. I heard somewhere that he died or he almost killed somebody during a deathmatch at one point.
If that's a Dark Side of the Ring. If you watch Dark Side of the Ring, that's an episode I recommend you to watch from start to finish.
I'll definitely check it out.
It's crazy.
I haven't watched Dark Side of the Ring, like any of the episodes or whatever. I just feel like it's a little bit depressing, some of the stories, so you kind of have to be in that kind of mood for it, you know what I mean?
It's gotten me depressed from watching it. So my thoughts on Nick Gage signing this historic deal with GCW, I think is a great way to honor him. He's done a lot for this GCW promotion. Literally freaking died at one point. Literally. So him getting this contract, I think, is well deserved. And I love the fact that GCW is actually getting on the map slowly. And I really hope that Brett's wrong with saying this is the first and likely the last contract, because I would love to see a TV deal with GCW, with Matt Cardona, the way that they have like their stars. They've built something pretty special over there.
What if GCW and Impact sort of like, you know, had like a deal together and they both were on the same...
Yeah, and I think that would honestly help the both of them. They have a lot of talent that are under both like shows.
Yeah.
Like especially Matt Cardona, which...
Matt Cardona's...
He's the real king of the death matches. Moving on now to a happy topic now, going from death matches with blood to nice white dresses and dressing formal. Keith Lee and Mia Yim got married.
Congratulations to them. Mick Foley is actually the one that officiated the wedding, I heard.
Which that is freaking awesome.
Yep, because Keith Lee posted on Twitter, it was like, anything you need, Mick, you know, I'm there for you. So I think it's pretty cool.
Do you know if Mr. Sacco made an appearance at the wedding?
I did not. I saw pictures of the wedding, but I didn't see Mick Foley in any of the pictures, so I don't know.
Yeah, so my thoughts on them getting married, congratulations to the two. They make a great couple, and honestly, like, I wish them nothing but happiness. And it's just cool to see that Keith Lee could have gone on a honeymoon, and he said no. I saw a meme on Twitter. It was like Eddie Guerrero. Someone put like a clip of Eddie Guerrero, and he goes, "I lied." So yeah, and then he debuted on Dynamite. So that's awesome that the two got married. Moving on now to the next thing. Bryan Danielson is going to be getting into the ROH Hall of Fame.
I think that is well deserved, man. That's where, you know, he cemented his feet. You know, he became, you know, a big star before he came to WWE. So I mean, it's well deserved. I can't think of anybody else that is more deserving of that award.
Oh, absolutely. Bryan Danielson is obviously one of the best in-ring competitors out there, and this is where his career took off before going into WWE. And it's just amazing to see them honor not only the Briscoes who've been there since day one, but also Bryan Danielson.
I'm calling it. Next person that gets inducted, CM Punk.
CM Punk. I would love to see that. Yeah. Let's see if that happens.
I'm calling it.
Moving on now to the next topic here. Aiden English says 2022 will be his last year as an in-ring competitor.
Yeah, he was in WWE for a while. He's doing a lot of stuff on the indies now.
Drama King.
I would like, you know, I always thought like he was a good star. WWE has a thing to where they underutilize people. He didn't get used, you know, to the best of his ability.
I thought the Vaudevillains were great, him and Simon Gotch.
Yeah, the Vaudevillains were really entertaining. But like, I feel like, you know, he could have had a nice run with, like, the IC belt or the US title or whatever. They just never, like, pushed him to where he should have been.
Yeah, and I think with Aiden English being his last year as an in-ring competitor, I don't see him leaving the wrestling business. He definitely is good on the microphone. And one thing I definitely could see him doing, which I think he's been doing on Impact the last couple weeks, commentary.
Yeah.
I think that he does make
He's got
a pretty
a great voice.
He's very good at commentary. He did some of that for I think 205 Live before leaving.
Yeah.
Moving on now to the next Impact topic. Lance Storm signs with Impact as a producer/coach.
That's a very weird signing, man. If anything, I would have thought he would have gone to like AEW or WWE. I know he has done some work with Impact and he has some connections there. It's just very strange.
Yeah, which I think this is actually a really good signing.
Oh.
Very underrated because we all know Lance Storm is one of the best trainers in professional
Absolutely.
wrestling. So these people that come out of the Storm Wrestling Academy are some pretty good superstars. Dominic Mysterio trained from there.
We could have a 2-hour show of just talking about everybody.
All the people that
trained at
made
Lance
it
Storm's
and
school.
what they've done. And it's absolutely amazing
So
to see that. So having, I think, Lance Storm being with Impact as a coach and a producer, great move all around for Impact.
Impact.
Like I said, I think I said this on the
man.
last quick take. Get a freaking good TV deal.
Yep.
Moving on to the next thing here. Rob Van Dam names Ricochet as his dream opponent if he made a WWE return.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that that he was trying to come back to WWE or whatever and do like a little run. I don't know how long it would have been. But apparently he called Vince McMahon and Vince never called him back, he said in a recent interview. But I would like to see that. Ricochet is like a jumping beam, man. That dude, dude is fast, he's athletic, you know, and I mean if it was Rob Van Dam from like 2003, I could have seen it, but I mean he's getting a little up there in age, you know what I mean?
Well, I hope that RVD knows that Ricochet's probably going to be like on the next set of releases. So we actually might be able to see a Ricochet versus Rob Van Dam match maybe by the end of the year this year.
Another quick take that I do want to mention before it's not on here. I didn't even tell Donnie about this. So, somebody on social media posted a screenshot, and apparently Ricochet has no merch in the WWE merch.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter. I saw that, and that's crazy. How? Like, he's a freaking real-life real-life Spider-Man. Like, you know how much money that they can make off kids? Like, he is literally a human highlight machine.
Oh, absolutely. That's why everybody's speculating that he's going to be, you know, on the cutting room floor or something.
Probably after Mania, maybe. So, now the last thing on Quick Takes. Matt Cardona wins the Digital Media Championship and actually finally turned heel.
I like Matt Cardona. I liked him when he was Zack Ryder, you know, and when he came up with Edge and Brian Myers. I don't know much about him or much about this whole situation, so I'm going to let you take the reins of this.
Yeah, so with Matt Cardona winning the Digital Media Championship, great for him. This championship, I still don't understand it. It's like, I guess like male and female competitors can win the championship, but like...
Is it like an actual wrestling championship?
Yes, it is an actual wrestling championship. It looks
for
just...
GCW?
No, for Impact. Because I think it kind of looks like, remember that championship in the, they did that grand tournament thing in Impact, like when the Hardys were there. It was like they tried to do MMA mixed with wrestling or something, and they had a championship. Yeah, I think. Oh, okay. Well, the last thing, just want to say with Matt Cardona here, winning the championship, turning heel. Finally, they decide to turn him heel.
Definitely.
It's about time because what he's done in GCW is great.
Yeah.
So now, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick takes for this week, and let us know in the comment section down below what quick takes you want us to cover for next week. What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie, here with my co-host,
Meadow.
and this is a new episode of Funko Friday! We are back, and with our first topic for this week's episode of the new We Are Wrestling talk show, Vince Russo.
Oh God, Vince Russo, man, he was the head of creative during the Attitude Era, and apparently, like him and Vince McMahon or somebody had a falling out years ago. I don't know much about it, but
him and Jim Cornette, they both said whoever dies first, they'll piss on the other person.
Jim Cornette's fucking just batshit crazy. He's almost as crazy as Ric Flair in a lot of cases.
And Vince Russo, he has a very big ego with his Russo brand. So Vince Russo recently did a podcast, and he believes that Shane McMahon should start his own wrestling promotion.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Shane
gonna happen
McMahon is wealthy, but I don't think he's wealthy enough to. Do you know how much money you would have to? Plus, all the good talent is getting released by WWE and going to AEW. Do you think if all the big major stars got released from one McMahon, they would go to another? I can't see that happening.
Yeah, especially with all the backlash in that Royal Rumble with like burying.
Apparently,
producers.
him and Brock Lesnar got into some kind of heated argument over the Royal Rumble, but I don't know much about that. I just heard it.
Yeah, which I wouldn't mess with Brock Lesnar if I were anybody else. Mm-hmm. I think that, like, Vince Russo isn't wrong here. I would love to see Shane McMahon start his own promotion. I know some people, like, are speculating about him owning WCW still. And, like, WWE, if they wanted to do something, like, why...
I did hear that.
Why wouldn't they do that?
Hear somewhere on an article that maybe Shane McMahon could bring back, WCW or whatever. I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he really does own
Does anybody
WCW.
know what happened to those rings?
With WCW or
yeah, the WCW rings.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably in the warehouse somewhere there.
Probably.
But I think like with Shane McMahon starting his own promotion, I feel like yes, AEW is so good. WWE, we wish it would be so much better. But the problem is like there's so much talented guys that we need. I feel like a third promotion that's like can be up there with WWE and AEW.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I can't say Russo is delusional for this, because I think he even knows that, because look at all the released talent WWE's getting rid of. Yeah. Very talented guys, and the next thing you know, AEW has to pick them up, because if they don't pick them up, then it's like, these wrestlers are going to be out of a job, and
everybody complains on social media that, these washed-up WWE guys are going to AEW or whatever. But, like, if you're a businessman, like, are you going to really let a lot of these guys be free agents, or are you going to sign them to, help out your company?
And that's the thing, like, what's WWE's loss could be AEW's gain.
I mean, if WWE aren't going to use them, they should go somewhere where they can be
absolutely utilized. And the thing that really bothers me about a lot of wrestling fans is when they say, like, oh, Bryan Danielson, he's a former WWE guy. But it's like, what about Ring of Honor when he was the American Dragon? What about his freaking long title reign? Like, wasn't it like 1,000 days?
When CM Punk and Daniel Bryan went to WWE, people weren't being like, oh, washed up ROH guy is going to WWE. Mm-hmm. You never hear that. I will say, like...
Another take real quick before I forget. Adam Cole, another guy that says, oh, use NXT, da-da-da. He was a part of Ring of Honor before signing with WWE. What the hell?
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting, as you were saying.
I was just going to say, like, because I'm a part of, like, a lot of wrestling groups or whatever, just to get information and stuff like that. There's, like, no offense to anybody out there that's watching, but wrestling fans can be not that intelligent. I'm trying to say it in a nice way because I don't want to offend anybody, and I don't mean everybody. I'm just saying, like, have you ever gone on, like, a wrestling, like, website or whatever, see some of the comments?
Delusional.
Yeah, people are just...
Absolutely delusional. But when it comes to, like, Vince Russo thinking Shane McMahon should start his own promotion, it would be great. I think we all would love that. But is it ever going to happen? Probably not.
What about Shane McMahon? I think we talked about this last week. Shane McMahon going to AEW.
McMahon going to AEW.
People have been speculating that was who, the big announcement that Tony Khan had.
Imagine that happened, though. I don't think a McMahon is ever going to step foot in AEW.
That's too close.
Or a Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
That's too close. Triple H needs to do something, though, because he's,
It's sad they're really letting him go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has a lot that he can bring to this.
Could you imagine if Triple H was in charge of, like, Raw and SmackDown?
I ain't gonna lie, I would love to see Triple H start his own promotion. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, but him being married to Vince's daughter, it's not going to happen.
Nope. It's not going to happen. So now we will be right back with our sponsor, Blitzkrieg Pro.
February 26th, 2022. Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling in association with Barnstorms, Cycles, and Jeeps present Blitzkrieg Pro PMA. Former Lucha House Party member Lindsay Dorado takes on AEW superstar Evil Uno. Max Caster of the Acclaim takes on O'Shea Edwards from Ring of Honor. Tickets are available now at blitzkriegpro.net. Doors open for the meet and greet at 6 p.m. Bell time is 7. We'll see you there.
We are back. And if you guys are in the Western Mass area, February 26th, Blitzkrieg Pro comes to Springfield, Mass. Danny and I will both be at the show, so if you want to talk some wrestling before the show, or if you want to come meet us, we will be there. And of course, there's going to be some awesome friggin' wrestling matches going on that day. And you can also even meet AEW star Max Caster, Evil Uno, and WWE Hall of Famer Big Sexy Kevin Nash, who's not really around the area.
Randy Orton's dad's going to be there.
Yep,
as well.
Cowboy Bob Orton.
So if you want to, say hi, that's probably the closest any
Right
of us
there,
are
Big
ever
Sexy
gonna get.
Kevin Nash, baby. Right there.
But that's probably the closest we'll ever get to Randy Orton. So.
Yeah, Randy Orton staying with WWE for life.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, I will be at the show as well, along with Donnie. I'll be filming a vlog, so if anybody
Yes, and I'll be filming a vlog too.
Yeah, we'll be vlogging it up, man.
Yep, like it's 2015 YouTube.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Alright, so now moving on to our next topic for this week's episode. Breakups. So, the Inner Circle on AEW Dynamite had a team meeting. And it looks like that they might be breaking up pretty soon. How do you feel about them deciding to finally start to show some issues with the group and maybe potentially breaking them up?
Well, it all started with Eddie Kingston, man. They were doing a backstage segment a few weeks ago, and Eddie Kingston, he's been having some kind of situation going on with Jericho, and, he was telling Santana and Ortiz, like, you shouldn't be following this guy, yada, 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 and Santana and Ortiz are just, they've pretty much fed up with it. But Jericho did make a lot of good points, they've been in main events. They've been, they've had chances at the tag titles. It's not like Jericho, held them back.
You know what I would have found really funny if Jericho, he brought up all of this stuff to them. Imagine he brought up how they got their own action figures too. That would have been kind of funny.
What do you have to say about Sammy Guevara throwing his vest down and being like, "Until you guys settle this shit, I'm walking away"?
See, the thing I liked about that was Sammy didn't turn heel in this situation. Sammy basically is focusing on his championship title, trying to make the TNT championship the most prestigious championship in all elite wrestling.
Why is he at
I
both
like
of them?
that.
Why is he at both of them?
That I don't know. They
Looks weird.
definitely should take one of those off. Yes, we get it. He beat Cody Rhodes, and he had one of the sickest moves in AEW when he hit that diamond cutter off the freaking ladder. But yeah, I don't get why he has the two championships. But when it comes down to the Inner Circle breaking up, I think this was the best way they could have done it. I think having Eddie Kingston, just sneak up to Santana and Ortiz, who we know have history because of Impact Wrestling, and just the way that they have been in the wrestling business together, coming from the same background. It made the most sense that Eddie Kingston would kind of stir the pot in this situation.
LAX and Impact, man, they were fucking untouchable.
And, the thing I really liked about it was, he stirred the pot, and, with Eddie Kingston, the way he is, we know he's not the best in-ring wrestler. Yeah. But when it comes to that microphone, he can do a lot of damage, and I think that, really showed with this feud.
He's got that New York mentality. And I said this on my
That's what I mean when they came from the same background.
I said this on my watch along last night, and by the way, if anybody wants to watch it, it's on my channel, go check it out. We watched AEW last night. But one thing that I really love is the fact that even when Moxley was, off doing his own thing, he went to rehab or whatever, his own situation that was going on, Tony Khan and AEW still had a place for Eddie Kingston. It's not like they thought, Moxley was ahead of Kingston, you know what I mean? I really like that. And it just shows that Tony Khan actually cares about who's in his company.
You know something? With Eddie Kingston, I have a really cool take here. A good comparison. I compare Eddie Kingston. I know a lot of people might think I'm crazy for this, so, don't think I'm, saying that he's like this guy, but, just when it comes to the passion and the love he has for All Elite Wrestling, I compare him to Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, I actually could see that.
He's the heart and soul of AEW.
What about the Sandman?
Ooh, that's a good one, too. That's Jon Moxley. He'd be coming from the crowd, wild thing, throwing the water bottle, but then instead, Sandman just cracks a beer open.
Can we just talk about something that does involve Jon Moxley, man? With the way his character is, the way he's, his mentality, the dude was in CCW and he was, fucking taking, pitchforks and fucking, trying to stab people. I just feel like he needs a more menacing theme song, a more intense, something heavy metal, in your face, get away from me or I'm gonna fuck you. He just needs to have that kind of mentality.
Which I think eventually, that'll come because, we all know Jon Moxley is one of the best. So, when, that character development change happens, we know Mox is gonna change it up. He's a good guy right now. That's why they have the wild thing.
Yeah.
The crowd sings to it. They go along. So, I think, that's a good point.
I just didn't really think it fits.
Yeah, so, when it comes now back to the Inner Circle breaking up, I think that this faction has been great.
Yeah.
They have been great from the first episode of Dynamite to where they are now.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. It's time for this faction to break up.
The cage match they had with MJF's crew.
Yep, with the Pinnacle. That was a great match. And I feel like just with the Inner Circle, it's time to move on. Sammy Guevara is putting on great matches, trying to make this championship prestigious, which I still love the way that the TNT Championship is booked, thanks to Brody Lee. I still think to this day. Yeah. God bless him. But also, I like the fact that Santana and Ortiz, they're fed up kind of with how they've been, because if it's a Jericho situation, when they're always getting close to the tag titles, they never go for the tag belts because they have to help Jericho.
Yeah.
And then Jake Hager's just always just in the background, because I feel like without Jericho, there wouldn't be a Jake Hager in AEW, which I kind of like him staying by Chris Jericho's side because you need somebody in the group. But Jericho, it's time for the comedy shit to change. It's time for Jericho to come back as the Painmaker, the heel.
Yeah.
And I think just the Inner Circle, it had a great run, but now it's just finally time to move on.
I want them to utilize Jake Hager a little bit much. He just stood there like a fucking tree last night. Didn't make any kind of movements, didn't say nothing.
He should have definitely been more intense with Santana and Ortiz. And, I wish that he did speak up more because we know he can cut a promo. And with Jericho being, friends with him for a while, he definitely should have stepped in.
Yeah.
Rather than, unless they're teasing Hager getting kind of sick of Jericho, too.
I'm kind of curious to see how the tag team match next week plays out. Because, Jake Hager could, he could be 100% on Jericho's side, or there's always that possibility that he could really, be contemplating on, the entire situation, and he could leave Jericho in the ring by himself and leave.
Yeah, and I think a big thing, too, when it comes down to, Jake Hager, because for me, that's out of all the groups, we know where everybody's going to be, but it's Jake Hager, what are they going to do with Jake Hager?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing that, I'm curious about the most. But the one thing that scares me about this Eddie Kingston-Jericho feud, the storyline's great. But what scares me the most, I feel is a match if the two wrestle, because we know Jericho, yes, he still can wrestle, but it's not, he's not that Jericho that we loved watching.
I feel to even it up, it should be somewhat of a parking lot brawl.
Yes, if it's something with weapons, they definitely can make it work. But I feel if it's just a regular match, Kingston and Jericho, I feel they're, just because of both of their styles, nowadays it's not going to work.
Kingston's a good fighter, not so much as a good wrestler, but I fucking love Kingston.
Yeah, but Kingston, like, you gotta love Kingston with the promos he cuts. Like, just like he has you, like,
he kind of reminds me of like this babyface, I guess, version of MJF. A little bit. Very
passionate. And, like, that's the thing, I think, why we all love Eddie Kingston. Like, he is who he is. And I think that's why it works that, like, he is not this technical wrestler and that he's more, like, with the fist. That's how he was brought up.
So I think how I would do it, if, you know, when the match does come.
Fantasy booking.
Fantasy booking all the way, man.
All day.
I would have, like, a parking lot brawl, man. Like, have a bunch of cars or whatever, you know, in a circle. Have it almost be like, you know, one of those old Attitude Era, like, street fights.
That would be cool for like Revolution.
Have, like, you know, all, like, everybody that's close to the both of them, like, you know, be around the cars or whatever.
Santana, Ortiz. That would be pretty cool. Maybe
because
even like Christian.
We know Jericho can fight. We know Eddie Kingston can fight. Jericho can wrestle. Eddie Kingston, he can more fight than wrestle.
Imagine some of the spots in that match with the... Because we saw the first parking lot friggin' brawl with speaking of Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz versus Best Friends, and that was one of the best friggin' parking brawls I've seen.
Could you imagine Eddie Kingston and Jericho, man?
That would be crazy. That would be a good fun match for Revolution.
Definitely.
A lot of the fans, I think, would really enjoy that.
Definitely.
Alright, so guys, we will be right back with some more We Are Wrestling.
Stay tuned.
Donald is the best one is gone and will never be forgotten. There were over thousands of videos created over the years. Lots of classic original series from comedy to series you can rewatch at any time. So many memories that were created during the past 12 years. You can go back into time and watch Donald's the Best One anytime you want. We have updated playlists with your favorite videos. Subscribe now and relive the past. DITV1 for life. We are back with some more We Are Wrestling. I really hope you guys are enjoying the talk show so far, and I just want to appreciate and thank all the We Are Wrestling maniacs out there for your guys' love and support lately. The views have been absolutely insane, especially coming back with the new We Are Wrestling talk show. Danny absolutely came in clutch, and we killed it, and we're killing it once again. Plus, there's going to be a giveaway announcement as well coming out tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that, because we are now more than 100 subscribers on here.
Get the channel to 200.
Absolutely, and guys, I appreciate each and every one of you We Are Wrestling Maniacs for your support lately, and that is what we're going to keep doing, is grinding out content, because that's the name of the game, baby. But now, unfortunately, we do have to talk about WWE, your favorite show of the week.
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled.
Hey, the reason why I say that is because you be doing watch-alongs to this shit, and I don't know how you can freaking sit there for 3 hours and watch Raw every Monday.
It's very difficult. I go to sleep right afterwards.
Yeah, I can definitely tell. I just don't know how you do the watch-alongs for freaking
This Monday
Raw.
was actually, a lot of people are like have disagreements about it, but I thought it was one of the better Monday Night Raws I've seen over the last couple weeks. I love the Quiz Bowl with the Alpha Academy.
What they have done with Chad Gable and freaking Otis has been great. Just want to put that out there. Chad Gable is really standing out, him and Otis.
Did you know octopuses have 3 hearts? I found that about I found out about that during the Quiz Bowl, and I actually got the answer right. It was like watching a fucking game show.
Oh goodness. Yeah, and didn't Randy Orton also make his return as well?
Randy Orton was there.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well. I didn't get to really fully watch Raw, but that's like what I heard.
It was really predictable because during the Riddle and Seth Rollins match, I was like, yeah, you know, KO is going to end up coming out, and it's going to end up being a tag team match, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So it was predictable. Like
Typical WWE booking.
Yeah, typical.
That's how you kill. That's how you kill time.
Yeah.
So now going into our next topic with WWE, it has been announced on SmackDown that Roman Reigns, the head of the table, will be defending his Universal Championship against the one and only WCW legend Goldberg.
Yeah, like I was a huge fan of Goldberg in WCW. He
Yes,
was a
me
fucking
too.
monster. I even liked him when, around 2004 or whatever, when he did first come to the WWE. I liked the feud that he had with Jericho back in the day. But I just feel like this match is a little bit too predictable. Like, we know WWE's not going to take the title off of Roman Reigns and put it on Goldberg. Why are we even having the match?
I don't know how many times. I know I said this on the old talk show, but now I'm just, for the new viewers out there, I'm going to rant about this one because this really pisses me off. Because how the hell did Goldberg earn a shot for this fucking title? That's what I want to know.
Can we sit here and talk about the fact that...
Wasn't his last 4 matches for the Universal title and he lost?
Yeah.
All 4?
Yeah, but, it's a payday. And I guess the prince or whatever from Saudi Arabia that worked out the deal with WWE, they are requesting Goldberg at all of their shows.
Yes, and that's okay, but why book Goldberg always for the freaking championship? Why don't we get a Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre match, non-title, or I don't know, him versus Sami Zayn or something. Oh wait, well Sami Zayn can't go to Saudi Arabia, I forgot. But
Why?
I think because of his beliefs and stuff, and they're against it or something. I don't really know too much about that.
I do want to say something on the whole topic regarding SmackDown this past Friday, and I did talk about it in my watch along as I usually do. Now, people, you should see the fucking comments and the shit I got, man. People, why you watch this shit if you don't like it? It's not that I don't like it. I want the product to be good, and as long as
that's what we all want.
If we don't critique WWE about the shit that they do, nothing's ever gonna change. Not that anything is gonna fucking change anyway, but the fact that the Royal Rumble was 2 weeks ago, Paul Heyman turned on Brock Lesnar to help Lashley technically win by joining forces again with Roman. I was expecting to have some kind of aftermath about that. Brock Lesnar wasn't even on SmackDown. It's like they totally
You're supposed
washed
to
it away.
explain. You're supposed to explain yourself.
It just told Brock Lesnar, I would have done a thing to where...
Why book him on Raw going for the Elimination Chamber when they could have literally put him on friggin' SmackDown and go after who he should be going after, not Lashley, Paul Heyman and freaking Roman.
I wish they would have had some kind of confrontation just to, at least mention what happened at the Rumble, but it's like they totally bypassed it.
And that's disappointing. Absolutely. Just like...
Remember when WWE was like every week tied into each other? You had to watch Monday, you had to watch fucking Thursday back when SmackDown was on Thursday.
Growing up, that's how it was.
The Attitude Era, dude, that's the gold standard when it comes to pro wrestling. And it's just, I have a feeling it's never going to go back to that. The closest we have is AEW for that aspect. But
and I already know next week I'm looking forward to AEW.
I'm looking forward to it too, but back to SmackDown, it kind of irritates me that they didn't even bring mention to the whole situation.
And the thing that just pisses me off about this, why is Goldberg getting another title shot when he literally, didn't he lose to McIntyre? Didn't he, lose
he
to,
beat The Fiend for the WWE title.
The worst decision they probably ever made in friggin' WWE.
That was a downfall, man. That's when they were like, yeah, we're going to release this fucker.
Yeah, but, he also lost to Braun Strowman as well. Goldberg has just lost to all of these friggin' Universal Champions and WWE Champions. And it's just time. Even Lashley beat him as well. Why? That's the thing I don't get. If you are going to go for the World Championship, you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Look at freaking Adam Cole. He's been picking up wins on AEW, and now going into Revolution, it's probably going to be Adam Cole versus Hangman.
That'll be.
You know why? Because he earned it. Just like Bryan Danielson versus Hangman. We got that because Danielson actually won matches, and he earned it. Goldberg, on the other hand, the only time he ever appears is when he's going for both WWE or Universal Championship.
This is back to what I was
It's
saying.
a waste of spot. It's a waste of spot.
The titles, I think I said this last week, the titles in WWE don't mean anything. You could be WWE champion and it's just, a leather strap with some gold on it. Like, it doesn't have any kind of significant meaning. It doesn't mean you're the best or anything. Just because they make the titles seem like that.
Yeah, and it's like with Goldberg, come on, there's so many options that they can do.
I feel like,
going for the title.
especially with the Intercontinental Championship, like that's like one step down from the WWE title. I felt like because I guess Nakamura was injured over the last couple of months, they should have stripped him from the title. They could have had...
Sami Zayn was actually making it pretty prestigious for a little while.
Yeah, but they could have had like an IC tournament or whatever,
Yeah.
And then at some point when Nakamura was better, give him another rematch, another shot at the title. Instead, they just...
Probably be a match, too, that we would want to actually see.
Just WWE, man, makes me mad.
But when it comes to, like, the IC Championship... The only way it's ever going to be prestigious again is if you give the title to either friggin' The Miz or Sami Zayn is like an exception.
I feel like
The Miz makes that championship very prestigious.
I feel like WWE is just oversaturated with championships as it is. You have two WWE championships technically. You have 2 sets of tag team championships, 2 sets of fucking women's championships. Like, I just feel like they're oversaturated, man.
Well, women tag team champions, 24/7 championships.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Yeah. Like, at least have one tag team champion, one world championship.
This is what I'm saying. They need to...
Keep the United States, keep the Intercontinental.
They need to unify the titles. They need to end the brand split and get rid of a lot of
Just
these
don't
fucking
give the
titles.
title to Brock.
Like, it'd be so much better, man, if they had one WWE title, one set of tag team titles. Like, you don't need all these titles, man, because the more you have, the less meaning they'll have.
And we all know what's going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Roman Reigns is going to destroy Goldberg.
By the way, I do want to let you guys know I will be doing a watch along to that. It starts at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do SmackDown that Friday, and then I'm gonna be setting up my stream for the next day, man. So it's gonna be a lot.
But now, we'll be right back with some more We Are Wrestling.
February 26th, 2022. Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling in association with Barnstorms, Cycles, and Jeeps present Blitzkrieg Pro PMA. Former Lucha House Party member Lindsay Dorado takes on AEW superstar Evil Uno. Max Caster of the Acclaim takes on O'Shea Edwards from Ring of Honor. Tickets are available now at blitzkriegpro.net. Doors open for the meet and greet at 6 p.m. Bell time is 7. We'll see you there.
We are back with our last topic before the main event topic. This is an AEW topic, of course. Jay White made his AEW debut by opening the Forbidden Door last night when the Young Bucks attacked Best Friends. I don't remember their New Japan name, Rocky and Trent. So I'm just going to say Best Friends. Young Bucks attacked them, and then next thing you know, Adam Cole had his buddy Jay White make an appearance, and the Forbidden Door opened.
Yeah, I heard speculation that he just signed a new deal with New Japan, but obviously with the travel restrictions, he probably can't get over there to
So he's been
TV.
doing, because I think a lot of what they've been doing for that is actually putting they have the New Japan US.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's been wrestling on.
Jay White's actually going to be in, I believe he's going to be in Queens, New York on Saturday for HOG.
Ooh.
House of Glory Wrestling. So
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, he's going to be doing that. Tony Khan said on social media, on Twitter, that he was going to have a Forbidden Door, a big superstar was going to come in, and even if AEW and this other company didn't so much get along, everybody was speculating that it was going to be like Jeff Hardy. Maybe that Jeff Hardy talked to some lawyers, and because WWE fired him prematurely before his test came back, maybe he was able to get out of his 90 days early. Maybe he was going to show up because it just made it made a little bit more sense.
Yeah,
but
because
we
there's
ended up
like
getting Jay White.
yeah, because like there's like a lot of times where sometimes with these like non-compete clauses, they aren't real. Like remember Malachi made his debut in AEW. There was something about that caused like some issues there.
I don't necessarily consider a Forbidden Door signee to be like somebody that's a free agent, because a free agent's not like a Forbidden Door.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
A Forbidden Door is a superstar coming from one promotion to the next.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with Jay White opening the Forbidden Door, this is a great move for AEW. I think lots of people are really underrating this. A lot of people are just thinking, oh my god, AEW got Jay White. This is awesome. All the dream matches they could have. But you see here, I'm looking at it from the bigger picture here, because here's what I think is going to happen. There's a reason why they brought Jay White into this being the elite storyline. Kenny Omega and Jay White never got along when he was a part of Bullet Club. So here's what I think is going to happen. The day Adam Cole turns on being the elite with the Young Bucks and Kenny and all of them, Jay White is going to be by his side with Red Dragon, and they're definitely going to do something there.
Definitely. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish have been off TV for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think Bobby Fish has been wrestling for
He's been wrestling
Elevation.
On Dark. He's been working on Dark.
But I think Kyle O'Reilly just had a kid.
Yeah,
that's
he just
why.
had a baby.
So he's like on like paternity leave or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think like that's what's gonna happen. That's why they brought Jay White.
Tony Khan didn't sign Jay White. He didn't have the deal finalized until Sunday night.
Which is crazy.
It's only been a couple days.
Yeah, and like when they do this big like turning on, I really hope to see the whole Bullet Club there. That would be really freaking cool. And like it's just got to be the perfect time. You can't do it right away when Omega comes back. You have to build it for something very, very special. For maybe the All Out event or maybe Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Most likely All Out would probably be the best place to do it.
Yep.
But him opening up the Forbidden Door, I think that would be the best like option for Jay White. Definitely turning like his back on the Young Bucks and Kenny, because now we all know Adam Cole's plan, what he's doing here, and like it's really cool to see because like they can go a lot of different ways with it, but I feel like having Adam Cole now that Omega's gone, taking control of the leadership, because we all know Adam Cole was the leader of Bullet Club before Kenny Omega took the spot from him.
Yep.
I think that now it's like Adam Cole gets his revenge on Kenny, and this is why like now he's going for the world title. He'll probably win the title, and then he's just gonna destroy that entire group.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Adam Cole, man, I can't wait. The matches that him and Adam Page are gonna have, man, especially when it comes to being, for the AEW title, that's gonna be great.
And I really hope that Adam Cole is going to be going to this Showcase of Legends convention, because they just announced Britt Baker, which now, like, I just got my ticket for that convention.
Where's that going to be?
That's going to be out in Albany, New York. And they just announced Britt Baker, so I'm really hoping Adam Cole gets announced.
I've never been to any kind of convention before.
They have one coming up, I believe, the Wrestling Classic, too. It's going to be in April, I think, in Windsor Lock, Connecticut. Right on the turnpike there, by Captain's Corner. They're actually really, really cool people over there. But now, guys, we'll be right back with another break. But that will be the last break because, of course, we have our main event topic to cover.
You know what really grinds my gears? Is when people ask me, what's better, Simpsons or freaking Family Guy?
Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? This debate goes way back.
Which team member has the worst?
Honestly, I've never won anything worth more than a piece of candy or a bracelet, so not a lot.
I've always wanted to learn how to build a house.
I don't really like orange juice.
And then they're like, just take your hat off and sit down. I took my hat off and everyone saw I was bald as fuck. I was a baldy.
As far as I know, my favorite costume when I was a little boy was the firefighter.
From lifestyle videos to tech videos to hunting videos.
Santa sitting on my lap this time.
So now, guys, on to our main event topic for this week.
Hey. We gotta talk about something first, though. Texas Death Match. Adam Page, Lance Archer. Last night, it was a bloodbath. What are your thoughts on it?
Wow, that Texas Death Match. With Lance Archer, it never disappoints. That's what I want to say about that. And it's really cool that like they name it the Texas Death Match, because it's kind of like very similar to like Last Man Standing, but with the submission stipulation also in there as well, which is kind of cool. And this match, from start to finish, was absolutely great. Lance Archer just keeps proving to us that, like, he is a great veteran.
Oh, definitely.
And, like, when it comes down to it, like, when you need a filler, like a storyline before to get into the big storyline, he is the perfect, like, murder hawk monster to get through, which I think with this underdog storyline that they have with Adam Page, having a monster like Lance Archer going against him in a Texas Death Match, absolutely awesome.
And the fact that they have Jake the Snake Roberts as, you know, in his corner or whatever, because Jake kind of had that mentality back in the 80s when he was, you know, a big popular wrestler, so.
I love the pairing with Jake and Lance.
Can we talk about...
I just don't get Dan Lambert.
Can we talk about... I can't remember the name of the move. I apologize. But when Lance Archer threw Adam Page onto the stairs, I mean, I was cringing.
Wow, I really thought that Hangman got really hurt right there, bad. It did not look good at all.
And then you were talking to me earlier about you loved the ending of the match.
Yes, that buckshot lariat. Wow.
Over the referee, man.
Over the referee, and then like goes like through the tables. That was such a beautiful ending to that match.
Great, man.
But I think the best thing about that match was definitely Adam Cole coming out after the match, taking the title from the ref, putting it on the shoulder because it proved that, okay, now it's Hangman versus freaking Cole for the main event of Revolution.
They're going to be building that up over the next couple weeks. I think that's going to be one of the main events for Revolution.
And they literally have almost a whole month to build this, which they've already been kind of building it because you have Being the Elite. You have the Elite basically, you know, going already after Hangman. So now it's like Adam Cole wants to finish the job, take the championship, because now he's trying to take control of everything, which this is amazing storytelling. And what I really hope happens with Revolution, if this does happen, Adam Cole needs the World Championship.
Yeah.
Hangman's had a pretty good reign. He's putting on great matches. Bryan Danielson, great match. Friggin' Lance Archer, another great match. Now, you can definitely have Adam Cole put on a great match with him.
I can't remember how long he had the title for, but when Adam Cole was the NXT champion, I mean, that he had some stellar
He made that title so
the matches
prestigious.
between him and Johnny Gargano. Are you kidding me?
That was great. Absolutely. So now, getting into our main event topic for this week's episode of We Are Wrestling.
If you guys like the show, subscribe.
That's right. It is a reaction that I actually reacted to, which has gotten a lot of love, which I appreciate.
Almost 3,000 views, man.
As we're recording this. And just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you We Are Wrestling Maniacs for the love and support, especially on that video there. But we have to talk about it as our main event topic.
Absolutely, man.
Keith Lee! Bask in his glory.
All elite, baby!
Is all elite. What is your thoughts on AEW bringing in Keith Lee?
Dude, I think he's one hell of a signing, man. Like, it's been speculated over the last couple of days. Because, like I said, I read a lot of articles and stuff. I'm a wrestling fan.
It's my job. I gotta do it too for the talk show.
It's what I do, man. So, news came about a couple of days ago that Tony Khan was in talks with Keith Lee. I wasn't sure if a deal was finalized or not. You know, obviously they're not going to just outright say it. But the fact that Keith Lee is now, he can now, you know, be limitless in AEW, man. The chains are off.
His gear, he's back. The gear's back.
Did you see when he was taking off his jacket? He was like, "Hey, man, I'm free." Pretty much, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's just crazy.
He didn't have to wear no fucking singlet.
You know what I
anymore.
find like so crazy about it? Like, I'm not talking about his NXT run, but now the main roster run.
Yeah.
They could not get friggin' Keith Lee over, but AEW literally got him over in 7 minutes. And that to me was wow. That throw across the ring.
Isaiah Cassidy was broken. And then when he fucking jumped from inside the ring and out, dude, he fucking flattened Isaiah Cassidy like a pancake. Did you see him? He was all limp and shit.
Like a New Day pancake. Yeah.
Dude.
And it was just from start, wow, Keith Lee looked incredible. And it's just, you could tell, like, from, like, his face and, like, his, like, the way he's acting, he was so happy to be back in professional wrestling.
Like I told you, man, like, give me Keith Lee for 2 hours, man. Let him just face everybody in the company. And that would be one hell of a dynamite to me. I could watch that dude for hours. Like, for a big man, he is athletic as a motherfucker.
Like I said in my reaction video, he really, like, and I mean it, he reminds me of a more athletic version of Mark Henry.
Definitely.
It's so, he is very phenomenal.
Definitely.
And I know definitely Mark Henry had a big thing to do with bringing in Keith Lee to AEW, because I know Mark Henry talks very high on Keith Lee, because he sees a lot of him in Keith Lee. And it's just absolutely amazing to see, like, what AEW did within 7 minutes compared to, like, WWE trying to make it work, change his gear, change his freaking music to some generic crap, and then changing his name from freaking Keith Lee to Keith Bearcat Lee, to now coming back to being Keith Limitless Lee.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Which is amazing.
And I heard, like, a lot of rumblings online last night that, you know, Keith Lee looked, you know, out of shape and out of breath.
He looked more in shape than he did in WWE, I feel like.
But the thing is, he's also not really been in a ring. I don't know, like, what his training was like, but, I mean, it's been 90 days since he actually, like, fully competed or whatever. So you're going to have a little bit of ring rust. I guarantee you. Give it 2 weeks, 2 matches, he'll be good to fucking go.
By Revolution, he's going to be, in that ladder match, he is going to be back. Which I think in this debut, from start to finish, was great. I don't know why people are saying that stuff. He looked really good for having ring rust.
Dude, I've loved Keith Lee ever since I first saw him in NXT, and the dude is just fucking brilliant, man. Like, I
loved his work in Evolve.
There is not another big man like him that is as athletic. Like, that dude can do stuff that fucking Rey Mysterio does.
All the dream matches, like, I was reading some of the comments in my reaction, and wow, all the dream matches that they can have with Keith Lee. The one that really stands out to me is definitely a Keith Lee and Miro match.
Oh,
that would be awesome. And I feel like this is like
Keith
the best.
Lee versus Big Hobbs.
Whoa, Powerhouse, yes, I would love to see that too. Here's what I think, definitely. With Keith Lee, they booked this beautifully because they have him, you know, beat Isaiah Cassidy.
Yep.
And
Matt Hardy scurried out of the ring. That kind of reminds me of, that's the same direction that Jeff Hardy, his last night in WWE, he went out the crowd that way.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. That's a pretty good take. I think just in general, when it comes to Keith Lee, just in general, this was the best way to book him. He beats Isaiah. Matt is pretty much trying to disband from the Hardy house. Let Andrade run the office. We get Matt and Jeff back together one final time. And then, of course, Keith Lee gets to be in the ladder match coming up at Revolution. That's going to make great spots in the match. And also, I think this is a good way because it's not like they're jumping him into the world title. Because if he wins the ladder match, let's say, he's going to be going for the TNT title, which I think would be the best way to start his AEW career.
Yeah, definitely, man. I could definitely see
that.
But
if they're going to do that, Double or Nothing, save that match for Double or Nothing. Whoever the champ is goes against Keith Lee at Double or Nothing. Let's give meaning to this title.
Yeah, I don't think they should. I mean,
it can't be a Dynamite episode.
Even though he's going to be well deserving of it, I do want to see Keith Lee as champion. I don't want them to just throw the title on him because he's fucking Keith Lee.
And that's like why, like, I really hope, like, if he does win the ladder match, let's just keep building it. Let's like have him wrestle friggin' whoever the champ is. Maybe Sammy Guevara will still be champion.
Yep.
Have that happen at Double or Nothing. When it matters. Pay-per-view. That's a match I would love to friggin' buy. I would buy friggin' Keith Lee and Sammy Guevara.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That would be great.
I don't know how well, like, Sammy Guevara's a good wrestler. I just don't know how he'd fare well against Keith Lee.
Hey, he makes it work with the big men. Like him and Miro, they did put on a good match. And
I want Miro to come back. I
told a good
want
story.
him and Keith Lee to have a couple matches.
They got to have a good rivalry.
Miro's gotten beef, man.
It's impressive.
He's gotten really strong, and, you know, he's got a really good physique ever since he came to AEW, so.
Yeah, and one thing, too, that makes this really interesting about the Keith Lee signing with AEW is that his wife, Mia Yim.
She's
also a free agent now, and I could see her getting signed to AEW because that just brings another veteran to their women's division.
I still feel like
that still needs some work.
I still feel like the women's division definitely needs some work. I wouldn't bring her in right away because, you know, some people might feel, oh, you know, couples, how couples are or whatever. I don't know, like, what it's like, the atmosphere is like behind the scenes at AEW. But Mia Yim, she's a great competitor. She wasn't in Atlantic City last night because I guess right after Dynamite she had gone on Twitch or whatever. She does like game streams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't with Keith Lee at the event. But I would like to see them bring her in.
That would be, I think, really good for their women's division. I will say their women's division is getting a lot better.
What about Ember Moon? They need to bring her in. There's so many women that they need to bring in, man.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, like, when it comes, like, to it, I feel like their women's division is getting so much better every week. Like, obviously, there's still some moves that they have to make, of course. And especially last night, seeing Jade Cargill wrestle. She's getting so much better in the ring, though.
She's getting so much better. She's really green, though. I don't think she should be TBS champion. AEW and Tony Khan wanted Ruby Soho to be champion. But when they signed the deal with TBS, they thought that Jade had a better look and be a good representation for TBS and their AEW partnership.
I actually liked it only because, like, their character, the way that they built the character, like, having her be undefeated right now is a good thing because I feel like when the right time comes, that right person is going to beat her, and that's going to make that championship.
What's going on
prestigious.
with Britt Baker? I haven't seen her defend the title. She's, you know, who knows what's going on with her.
Well, I think just in general, the AEW women's division, like, she's like top tier, like the other ones.
She should still be fucking wrestling, though.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think they're going to probably build something for Revolution.
Probably.
Because right now they're like more focusing on the mid-cards, which is also a good thing for them because it's like you need to kind of show the mid-cards there because Britt Baker has beat everybody.
Yeah.
She's been champ for, I think, almost a year now.
Everybody the last match I saw her in was a tag team match when she partnered with Adam Cole. So.
Yeah, because she's been defending that title a lot and she's been winning. So I think they'll definitely have something for her at Revolution. But now back to the Keith Lee thing. It's just, I'm completely, like, speechless with this. So many, like, awesome scenarios that can happen now.
Dude, I love his theme song. I love his theme song.
The theme song's really good. It slaps.
Oh, absolutely. All right.
And the amazing thing about that is, like, he had the crowd on, like, his palms, like, all singing, bask in his glory.
And then he was like this.
Exactly, and, like, it reminded me of, like, a football, like, stadium, like, the way that they were, and it's just amazing to see Keith Lee happy and doing what he loves. That's professional wrestling.
Keith Lee's gonna be doing big things, man. Keep an eye out, AEW, Wednesdays on TBS. You guys are not gonna want to miss, because he's limitless.
And maybe we'll even get him on Rampage as well, which would be pretty cool. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of We Are Wrestling. Once again, thank you, Danny, for coming on the talk show. It was awesome having you, and we're always welcoming you with open arms to our Forbidden Door here.
Forbidden Doors, man. Anything is possible. Check me out. My links are in the description if you guys like watch-alongs, if you guys like reaction videos. We have me and my buddy Ben, who might be here next week. We have a podcast.
He will be here next week.
We talk about music, pro wrestling, movies, comic books, you know, everything entertainment and pop culture, man. 2-6 and Pure Rage. Check us out.
Yeah, I think I only listened to like 2 or 3 podcasts, and Yeah, your guys' podcast is one of those 3. So if you guys enjoyed this week's episode of We Are Wrestling, make sure to smash that like button now. And of course, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you love professional wrestling, like Danny and I, still questioning if Ben likes it. I'm going to find out next week.
Hey man, you're gonna have to come up with a hard question. You know?
Oh yeah.
Ben, you better have the answers.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Like Danny said last week, punch it in the frickin' face. Turn on the post notifications, of course, because you know the videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. Links down in the description below. You can go follow Danny over on his YouTube channels and social medias. It will be down in the links below. And you also can go follow me on my social medias as well. And of course, you can go follow We Are Wrestling over on Instagram and Twitter, because Facebook sucks. The links are down in the description below. And of course, if you want to go check out my 2 other channels, I have a basketball channel, DBTV, and of course, I am the leader of Best One Network with Team Best One. So if you want to go check out those videos, the links are down in the description below for those channels. But of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, thank you guys for your love and support, and I will see you guys tomorrow with our giveaway announcement. And of course, you already know, we are taking over. Peace.